I told the team, I said, hey man, we've all got a stink on us. At that time, we all had this stink on us, and we got to find a way to get it off of us. And so that's the plan this week, man, is to work on just getting that stink off of us, because we stunk it up out there on Saturday.
I mean, it's one of the biggest football cliches, right, is you let a team beat you twice. Did you feel like there was some hangover from the BCU loss, a real disappointing way to start the season, kind of carried over to week 2?
No, not at all. Really didn't feel that way. Just, we start that ball game, and first quarter, we have a fumble, but defense goes out there, gets a stop. We end up down 10-7 going into the second quarter, and then it just seemed like the wheels fell off after that.
Let's say, as you evaluated the film, what were the big problems in the second quarter first, and then also on that kick return to start the second half?
Well, first off, in the second quarter, the running game defensively, we're still trying to address the running game, stopping the run, and we didn't get it done in this ball game. And then offensively, we were able to throw it around a little bit, but same thing offensively. We weren't able to run the ball. We only had like 60 yards rushing on the day, so we're just not getting it done in that phase. And then you talk about even down 33-10 at halftime, we still felt like we were in the game because we got a high-powered offense, and so it felt like we were in the game. But then we go out there and we kick off, and they get a big return on us. So they beat us in all 3 phases: offense, defense, and special teams.
As a coaching staff, I mean, that was going against the reigning HBCU national champs, the reigning select champs. Someone who's won the league 3 out of the last 4 years. How have you tried to evaluate, I guess, your team now going forward, whether it be from a recruiting standpoint, whether it be from what you have right now, in order to look at yourselves and say, like, that's what we want to be, and this is where we are now?
Well, going into the ball game, we knew going in that, they had a little bit more talent than what we had overall. We knew that, but, at the same time, didn't feel like they were 33 points better than us. So obviously we got to make some improvements. Some of it's personnel, some of it's coaching, but we all have a hand in trying to get to that point where we're playing championship football and we're a championship team, and we just weren't quite there on Saturday.
Coach, there's a level of honesty that you have to have with not only your coaching staff but with your players when you rewatch the film.
Right.
How encouraging have you been with just being honest with personnel, certain position rooms, and your coaching staff understanding the standard that you have set for this program, not acceptable as you move on and get ready for Saturday?
Well, that's the one thing. I feel like we've been honest with our guys from day one. I feel like, we've let guys know. For instance, you have some guys that have wondered why they hadn't played maybe as much, and maybe it's just, hey, this guy's a better player right now, and that's just, it is what it is. So, we've definitely been honest with them from day one, and, we're continuing to do that. And, but like I said, I mean, I've got to take ownership in it, our coaches and our players. So that's a team.
You mentioned the running game, and Ryan, just struggled a bit trying to run the football. I know it kind of correlates with the offensive line as well. You've been discussing this probably back since this Tennessee State game.
Right.
Midway through that game till now. Things that you want to try to kind of implement, to kind of continue to try to implement the running game, and or try to have some extensions of the running game, from field to boundary side with some swings and some dump offs and things like that to be able to move the football as well.
Well, our plan is to spend more time on the running game this week. It's to spend more time, take some time out of some periods, and put those toward the running game, offensively and defensively, because we got to be better there. You look at our last 2 ball games, we've thrown for over 300 yards, but still haven't found a way to win the game. And the one common denominator is we didn't run the ball well and we didn't stop the run.
Brian's gonna be so proud of me for not leading with this. Injuries, what's Quad status? It didn't look good.
Well, Quad, man, he iced his ankle all the way back from Mobile. Sat right behind me on the bus, iced his ankle. He's very optimistic about this week. We're still, waiting on some results to come back, where he had to get looked at this morning. So, we'll know a little bit more later on today. We should know a little bit more.
Was it an ankle again?
Yes, it was the same ankle. Yes, sir. It was the same ankle. Yes.
I'm just wondering, as you now try and keep moving this thing forward. Obviously, there's still pretty much a whole SWAC season left.
Right.
Starting 0-2 obviously probably means winning the division, especially now you don't have the tiebreaker for Jackson State. It's going to be a tough road to hoe. What's the messaging to the team going forward, and what are you telling them that they have to play for?
Well, you know, bottom line is this: we've got a lot of football left. We've got half of a season. We got 6 ball games. We've got homecoming coming up right here at our stadium. We're undefeated at home. I mean, we're undefeated at home this season, so you know, we want to keep that streak going. We want to win homecoming for our fans, our alums. So, you know, just very excited, you know, about getting an opportunity to get back out there on Saturday and, you know, get that taste out of our mouth from this past week.
Since you mentioned it, let's talk about Valley. Obviously, let's be honest, they've been the punching bag of the league for a long, long time. What have you seen on tape from them? Have you seen any improvements based upon, I don't know if you saw anything from last year. What can you tell us about Valley?
You know, Valley's 0-4, but they're much improved. They played 2 SWAC games to this point, and they lost both of those games by less than a touchdown. And, you know, basically they were actually winning their last ball game, Texas Southern. They were actually winning the ball game up until a minute left in the game. So they're a dangerous football team. We can't, you know, we won't. We definitely won't take this team lightly because, you know, we've seen the film. We know what they're capable of. And they present some challenges that we've had problems with. They've got a running quarterback, kid that can really run the football, do some things with his legs. So, you know, we feel like they're going to try to come in and establish the run against us. And so we got to be prepared for that.
Coach, human nature would tell a player or us media members or fans, you see 0-4, you see Mississippi Valley, much like Nick just mentioned, hadn't had a lot of success over the last decade plus. For you, how do you get the messaging across that this next game, the next snap, the next first down, those are the most important things when you're playing this opponent and not worrying about what record says with the Delta Devils coming in?
Well, you know, like I said, just by showing those guys that the 2 SWAC games that they played this year, they lost by 5 points or less. And actually, they were winning both of those ball games. Could have easily gone their way. They could easily be 2-2. And so I think that's enough for our guys. And then, you know, obviously you can look back to last year when they went down to FAMU and, you know, upset FAMU down at FAM. So dangerous football team. You know, I feel like, you know, their head coach, he's done a good job of getting Mississippi talent. Coach Buckley, he's done a good job. He's a Mississippi guy, been able to go out and get some really good talent. He's got a really good offense coordinator. Offense coordinator was at Ferris State last year, to the defending Division II national champions. So very dangerous team, very.
Say homecoming is obviously a huge deal at any school, but it really is especially at HBCUs. Probably going to be the biggest crowd outside of Mag City Classic this year that guys are going to play in front of. Just what are you preaching to them in terms of, I guess, staying focused, one, but then also what are you looking forward to positively about homecoming?
Well, the first thing is this. I told the team, look, homecoming is not for us. I mean, it's not for us. I told the players, I said, look, you know, you're going to have hopefully 50, 60 years after you're done playing here to come back and celebrate homecoming and just really do it up. But this ain't the week. You know, this isn't the week for us to celebrate homecoming. You know, now, obviously for myself as the head coach, you know, it'll be good to, you know, have former players come back, you know, and be around this program and show their support and their love, you know, for not just the university, but also to this football team, this football program. So, you know, that's something that I'm looking forward to.
Last one for me, you got to be happy. You don't ever want to have injuries, right? But, you know, I know Quad is struggling there with the leg and the ankle. But you got to be encouraged that Hanley's at least been able to have some time and play some really good football for you if Quad is not able to go on Saturday.
Yes, definitely feel that way. You know, feel like Hanley's, you know, done a really good job when his number's been called, and, you know, just, you know, very happy with him. You know, obviously I hate it for Quad because, you know, that's how Eric was able to get the playing time that he's got. But, you know, at the same time, Eric stepped up when he needed to, and, you know, so it's good for us.
It was just, I guess, last question. Big picture stuff. Obviously, a lot of guys came with you from Miles. What have those guys who came with you as a group, what have they thought about the SWAC so far?
Well, you know that's interesting because you know you look at Trevonta Abner, you know he's been playing really well. Obviously, we lost him, didn't have him in the ball game on Saturday because of a foot injury that he suffered in practice last week. But you know when he's been out there, he's been doing well. Been one of our leading receivers. Then Frank Pierre. You know, can't say enough about him. Touchdowns in the last 2 ball games. He was actually a little banged up early in the season, but you know, once he got back healthy, he's feel like he's hit his stride. And you know, then you got John Robinson at linebacker over on defense. I think he had maybe 11 tackles. That's assist and solo on this past week. And you know, just I feel like those guys have you know really just fit right in, and you know they're playing at a high level. You know, also we got Jeremiah Hudson-Davis back at safety this past week. You know, played for us at Miles. You know, he did some good things in the game, but you know he was rusty, had a lot of rust on him. But you know, those guys have really made. I feel like they made the transition pretty smooghly.
Appreciate it. Thanks,
Coach, thanks,
All right.
man. Yes, sir.
All right.
Got a little workout in before practice. Thanks, man.
All righty. All right.
Mike Holding.
Man, that was good form. He had it right there. Yeah.
I was waiting for him to, you know what I'm saying, get his hand level down and stuff.